Alright, y'all. Welcome back to the I Am Bruce Leroy channel. Obviously, this is your boy Bruce Leroy. Before we get started with today's video, I need y'all to do a few things for me. Like, comment, subscribe, before I kick y'all asses. No, it's probably I know I do already. Follow me on all my social medias by Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok and some other shit. But Twitter and Instagram, as of right now, everything is at I Am Bruce Leroy. The TikTok shit is at Thy Lovely Lady, but that's, you know, I already told y'all my situation about that last video. Alright. So today's video, as y'all may have predicted, like I said, it's a whole routine. We always do an Eagles video every time they play in the regular season. Just in general, just throughout the Eagles season, it's one video a week about the Eagles. So, I don't know why I said the Eagles like 15,000 fucking times. Anyway, moving on. We're here to talk about the Saints win. It was 15-12 yesterday. And, yes, we won. Obviously, I'm happy that we won. But, it's a lot of bad news. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not a lot of bad news, but there's a lot of things that are to be listen, there's some things that we have to celebrate. Obviously, the win being one of them, and there's other things we have to kind of like, you gotta have to push the red button, push the goddamn button. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it doesn't matter. So let's get this video started. I don't have anything, you know how I have my precursors going into the Eagles video. We're going straight into the video. I'm not wasting no goddamn time. Now, the first thing we have to talk about, alright? I kind of missed like bits and pieces, sorry, my fault. Some shit in my eye. I kind of missed bits and pieces of the first quarter. So here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just go ahead and just start speaking about the players. So the first thing we got to speak about is Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts' numbers, 29 for 38, 311 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and for rushing, he had 8 carries for 25 yards. Now, I'm going to be straight and honest with you. You remember how I told you guys last week? So, okay, before I start talking about Jalen Hurts, we need to have a conversation about what happened prior to the game. So, Devin White's a healthy scratch. For some odd reason, the Eagles are, despite the fact that, you know, Devin White has shown that he can play in the past. Obviously, you know, his career has been up and down relative to where he was picked. But I will say that when he's been on, especially that year that they went to the Super Bowl and won it against the Kansas City Chiefs, he's on. So he's a healthy scratch. He didn't play. I feel really fucking bad for Isaiah Rodgers. And you know what? It's funny because you can't really blame Fangio, but then again, you can. Number one, I think it's very, very unfair to bring a veteran of Isaiah Rodgers' caliber to the team if you have no plans of playing him. However, with that said, while he was injured, you know, Quinyon Mitchell did a really, really good job on the outside. Obviously, we all know as this team is moving forward, Quinyon Mitchell is going to be CB1. That is the plan. It happened a little sooner than I expected. Now listen, when I had reservations about Quinyon Mitchell being the number one corner, obviously it had nothing necessarily to do with his skill set or, you know, I'm like, okay, well, if he's the best corner in the draft, you know, he should fit in pretty easily. And, you know, obviously he's definitely as advertised. He just got to start catching the goddamn interceptions. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but we're going to move on and stay on topic here. So I feel bad for Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers, you know, he showed a lot of passion being here. You know, he talked about how with the gambling shit, we was the only team that was willing to accept him. And he was, you know, even before he was suspended, he was putting on the Eagles green, the Eagles uniforms, practicing, working his ass off. Preseason, I was not too impressed with the very tidbits that he did get. But then again, is it really fair to judge a player off of bits and pieces, off of preseason where he's only getting like, what, 2-3 drives? No, not really. But, you know, I think Quinyon made an immediate statement. And it's kind of, I really feel bad. I feel bad for Devin White, and I really feel bad for Isaiah Rodgers, especially Isaiah Rodgers, because it's like you kind of brought him here and you're wasting his time. And again, I to an extent, I understand why, because, yo, Quinyon eventually has to be the starting corner, and if he's showing right away that, you know, that he needs to be there, you kind of got to keep him there. But, you know, I don't think, I don't know. I can't really blame Fangio to it. I can't blame Fangio for him not playing Devin White, though. Because at the end of the day, you can work some things around where you have him in the rotation. So I don't like that very much, but you know, that's really neither here nor there. So let's have a conversation about Jalen. Okay, before I jump ahead already, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think had a, let me double check my notes here.
Dumbass.
Something happened in practice. So, you know, it was a possibility that he wasn't going to play. He did end up playing this game. We'll talk about his performance later on. Let's go to Jalen Hurts now. So, I read y'all Jalen Hurts' stats, okay? I'm going to be honest with y'all, okay? And this is the truth. Everybody's going to look at, damn, he completed over 80% of his passes. Oh, damn, 300 yards. If you want me to be honest with you, and there's going to be people that's going to be, my fault. There's going to be people that's going to be pissed off about me when I say this, but I have to tell the truth, okay? And listen, I fought my brother tooth and nail about Jalen Hurts. I fight other people when I discuss football about Jalen Hurts. I'm on the front lines. Trust it, but I trust and believe. When motherfuckers was up there talking about something, he can't read defense. I'm like, what the fuck y'all talking about? Like, what was y'all looking at the 2022-2023 season? What the fuck was y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where y'all getting this shit from? Because clearly he showed you that year that he got all the intangibles to be an elite quarterback in this league. He came through multiple clutch moments, and what was that, the gauntlet where we had some tough teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, when we had that stretch of games, or you know, a lot of teams, a lot of, you know, people had us losing those tough games, those AFC against those AFC opponents. We came in, we showed up and we showed out, right? So all these things considered, I have to say that these stats are very empty stats. I'm being straight up and not very empty stats. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, a lot of it was Goddard getting big yards. And especially, so a lot of it was really just Goddard. Because Goddard had 10 catches for 170 yards. He looked great. We'll talk about him a little bit later. But we have to really have a discussion about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is starting to concern me. And again, y'all going to call me crazy because you look at the stat line is fooling y'all, okay? Not only these are empty stats, these are stats off of big chunk plays, the majority of it from Dallas Goedert, okay? I have to be honest with you. I'm very concerned about Hurts because at the end of the day, right, I understand you don't have A.J. Brown. That's a huge piece. But you have Jahan Dotson, who we want to talk about a little bit later. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert. You know, you got pretty much if not the best O-line in football, we're looking at top 3, right? I would say the best O-line, but we don't have Kelsey anymore. But, you know, Cam Jurgens is doing pretty good. And honestly, he might have had his best game during the Saints. I think that last week, he made some really good plays, but I think that, you know, he kind of, his snaps were a little bit slow at times, but Cam Jurgens really is, you know, I guess he's finally getting the chemistry together with Jalen Hurts, and he had his best game of the season by far. So shout out to Cam Jurgens. But when it comes to Jalen Hurts, it's just like, you got one of the best O-lines and not the best O-line in football. You got Dallas Goedert, top 3 tight end. You got these receivers. Jahan Dotson is a number 2, playing at number 3. You have depth. Covey's proven he's a legitimate wide receiving weapon. Well, I don't like how y'all disrespecting that. I really don't. But we'll talk about Covey a little bit later. We'll talk about Covey a little bit later on. I already mentioned it in my previous video, but I have to briefly mention him again because he was in this game and so on and so forth. You know, so you have wide receiver, and also you got Paris Campbell, who I don't really like how people have written him off because he's definitely a good role player. Is he going to be your number 1 or number 2? No. But he's definitely a very good option at number 3. And on top of that, you can't really make a judgment on the guy because he hasn't played. You know what I'm saying? But the time he did play in that preseason, he did pretty good. He caught maybe a pass or 2 in this game as well. But again, going back to Jalen Hurts, it's like, bro, how many times do we got to keep making excuses for? And on top of that, how can we forget about Saquon? We'll talk about later on in the video. How can we forget about Saquon? And Saquon playing as well as he has. So you have that, and you got all these guys on defense. And it's like, yeah, I understand the defense is a totally different thing, but they still got some big names up there. They still got some great, they got some really, really good players who can make big plays. So, with all of this said, why the fuck are you still struggling? Like, when I mean struggling, I don't mean it's like he doesn't understand the offense. No, he's doing shit that's like he did in 2021. With 2021 to this fucking day, I still have PTSD. I swear to God, I mentioned this before in another video, I'll mention this again. I will never forget that fucking Monday Night Football game. I think it was in Arlington. In 2021. That was the worst fucking quarterback play. Probably one of the worst. And Carson Wentz was pretty fucking bad when he had his decline. But probably, I would say, to my recent memory, the worst fucking quarterback performance I've ever seen out of the Eagles quarterback. And yes, Bradford was pretty fucking bad during Chip Kelly's last year. I get that. But I've never seen, like, just the inaccuracy. And listen, he's not doing... My fault for y'all saw spit. He's not doing all of the things from that year. But he's bailing out too early again. What the fuck are you doing? And it's like I'm up here trying to fight tooth and nail. I'm like, yo, I don't understand what you guys saw, but that 2022-2023 season when we went to the Super Bowl and Hurts put the team on his back and was MVP of that season, like, y'all tripping. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all talk about. Like, how the hell you know, it's a new season and you just completely erase that shit from your mind. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm up here fighting tooth and nail for this guy. And then when people were talking shit about him about last year, and some people, Shannon Sharp, still talking shit about him, I'm like, yo, like, you're being unfair to that guy because he's shown that he can come through in big moments. He's shown he's elite. He's shown that despite the weapons around, the difference between him and Brock Purdy, he's put the team on his back before. He's proven that he could be the best player on the field, the best player on the team in any given game. He's proven that, time and time again. And he made, and like I said, when we went through the gauntlet against those tough Super Bowl contending AFC opponents, we won. Yeah, some luck went our way with some drop passes here and there, but we really got some tough wins out of that. And Hurts put the team on his back and showed he was clutch. He showed that he was elite. So again, the MVP talk that was talked about last year, I thought that was bullshit. Elite clutch doesn't make you the MVP because your numbers have to match the performance. It can't be just, oh, great job coming through in the clutch. That just means you're an elite quarterback. It doesn't necessarily be equate with MVP. So the MVP candidate bullshit that people were talking about, like, I'm an Eagles fan, I fuck with Hurts, but like, nah. But, and he's still doing a lot of shit that I seen last year, like missing wide open guys, chucking the ball down the field in tight coverage, making bad decisions. Hold on, y'all.
What the fuck is that?
Just like I said in the last video, how the stats being 186 yards doesn't necessarily equate to what his actual on-the-field performance was. And I thought that not only was he overhated a lot in those respects, like the same vitriol I seen on Jalen Hurts' last game, that should have been for the first game. You know what I'm saying? But for some odd reason, it wasn't. Because people got caught up in the stat line or whatever the case may be. But Hurts played outstanding against Atlanta. Despite whatever the stat line being only 186 yards, he played outstanding. He really put the team on his back, and he played with passion. He played with purpose. This time around, I would say for maybe, like, again, he did a good job cleaning it up in the second half, and he made some good adjustments like that, calling it audible to get Goddard wide open on a mesh concept. That was outstanding. So Hurts did some good things in the second half. He cleaned up his play, but overall, I'm tired of defending this dude when he's constantly making these amateur-ass mistakes in his fourth year in the league with these weapons on the team. Even without A.J. Brown, bro, there's no excuses. It just really isn't. Especially when you have a number 2 in Jahan Dotson playing the number 3, who's now is the number 2 option, obviously without A.J. Brown. But you have a legitimate, like, the receivers are there. And when I go back to comparing him to Carson Wentz, as bad as Carson Wentz was, attitude-wise and his on-the-field performance, you can give him a little bit of leeway by saying he didn't have any weapons. You know what I'm saying? They literally had to go dig through fucking practice squad receivers, and we found a gem in Greg Ward, so no disrespect to him whatsoever. And maybe a guy or two outside of him stepped up, but really Greg Ward was the biggest story. I remember that. I remember that year vividly because I think Javion Clowney did some dirty ass shit to Carson Wentz and he ended up getting a concussion or some shit along those lines. I think it was in the wild card. We had a shitty ass record going into the playoffs, but we made the playoffs regardless. But just kind of just going through everything. At some point in time, I'm sick of hearing these fucking speeches. I hear these Rocky Balboa speeches. When you get knocked down, you gotta get up. And you gotta brush your shoulders off. And I don't give a fuck if there's a black widow on your shoulder. You take the back of your hand and you swipe that bitch. Credit or debit. Like, outside of my corny ass jokes. At some point in time, when are you going to step up and play to the standard? Okay, I'm tired of hearing these fucking to be or not to be. I'm questioning if you are or are not the fucking franchise quarterback at this point in time. Because you can't keep having these games over and over. You keep turning the fucking ball over. You keep saying at every fucking press conference, yeah, you know, I tried to be a little too aggressive on that play. Obviously it didn't work out, and not my favorite. I'll try not to be aggressive next time. And you do the same fucking shit the next week. So, like, I really don't understand. So, again, I'm not going to go too crazy because of the stat line and he cleaned it up in the second half. But this shit just can't keep happening. It cannot. And next week is going to be difficult, not only because we have some injuries, because the Buccaneers is not a fucking joke. And we'll talk about that later on. But Jalen Hurts made some good plays, cleaned it up in the second half, but him fumbling the football and then throwing that fucking stupid ass pass to Devontae Smith, and when there was a bunch of Saints jerseys in the way, like I was gonna get the ball there, it was no way it was gonna happen. You know, I'm sick of the goddamn speeches, bro. Like, it's time for you to take the next step forward. You know, you've proven that you have elite talent, but you know, consistency is what matters the most. And I'm really sick and tired of, you know, arguing with people, including my own brother, and arguing with motherfuckers talking about like he's not trash. But the reality situation is, bro, like I can only imagine if you had to deal with Carson Wentz's weapons. And again, not everybody was bad. You had Zach Ertz, obviously. I'm not sure Jordan Matthews was or wasn't on the team. Don't quote me on that. You had Alshon Jeffrey. He was pretty damn good. So, you know, you had pieces. And obviously, Greg Ward, like I said, came along in that, especially towards the end of the regular season when we was kind of teetering on getting into the playoffs. But, you know, at some point in time, man, you got to step the fuck up. And you got to do it game in and game out. Like, at this point in time, it's like, you know, I give Josh Allen a lot of shit on Twitter, on social media. I'd be like, you know what, he's overrated because he's had weapons on both sides of the ball. But you don't really see Josh Allen have too many bad games. Even when he has games like 2 interceptions, he'll throw for like 200, 300 yards. Like, Mahomes. And one thing about Mahomes we got to stop doing too, and I like, my GOAT, that's my favorite player of all time. I'm sorry, I got to keep it real. As an Eagles fan, my GOAT's my favorite player. I love Mahomes. Not as much as this nigga from Nebraska, but whatever. That's the story for another day. As much as I love Mahomes, he does dumbass shit too. But the only difference is, it's like, he cleans it up. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like Mahomes does make stupid ass passes and interceptions, but like, I don't know. It's like, I'm sorry. When you've had the success he has, you kind of can do what the fuck you want to do. Like most quarterbacks that do what Mahomes do and throw a bonehead ass interception pretty much every game, you probably would want to get on their ass. When Mahomes, what he's accomplished so far in his career, you kind of give him a pass. Just because of, you know, there's not really a quarterback in NFL history that's done what he's done at his level. You know what I'm saying? Don't really, you know, when you're comparing him to Brady, and that's pretty much it. It's not even Peyton Manning or whatever. It's literally just him and Brady. But yeah, you know, at some point in time, man, it's time for you to be among the Josh Allens, to be among the Joe Burrow. Like you want me to be straight up and honest with you? I can't even definitively say he's better than Dak Prescott anymore. As crazy as that sounds, y'all look be like I'm fucking crazy because like what he did with the 22-23 season. But if you look at the whole body of work, I really can't say he's definitively better than Dak Prescott. I'm just being honest with you. I don't really think at this point in time, if we're talking about this season, I don't even think he's passing better than Dak Prescott right now. I'm keeping it real. And Prescott has done some bonehead ass shit. especially against Baltimore. And he almost got intercepted a few, like a couple of them, especially I think one to Marlon Humphrey should have went the other goddamn way. Lamar Jackson got on his ass too, which is kind of funny. But yeah, at some point in time, bro, it's time for you to take the next leap forward. You don't have an excuse. You got a new coordinator, knows what he's doing, and we'll talk about Sirianni and fucking Kellen Moore. I don't have a problem with Kellen Moore, but I do want to have a conversation about the whole coaching staff and shit like that. So, Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to try to get on your ass too much, but I need you to start. I don't know what the fuck he's looking at with the film. I don't know how he looks at the film, sees that he's throwing the ball into cover, sees that he's missing wide open guys, and nobody tells him. Like, is he watching this film by himself? Is there somebody watching? Is Kellen Moore watching the film and saying, hey, listen, you know when you keep rolling out, you need to stop bailing out of the pocket too early, okay? You need to start looking to check the ball down at this particular time. You're taking all day to get the ball out of your hands. If whatever's open out downfield, like, who the fuck is watching the film, and what is he taking out of the film going into game after game? Because to keep making the same fucking mistakes, and you're in year 4, it doesn't make any sense, and there's really no excuses for it at the end of the day. Like I'm not buying this. Even with Sirianni, we'll talk about him, his incompetencies throughout his coaching tenure, it's still not an excuse. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm all for Jalen Hurts, pause. But I did this fucking stupid ass shit that he does with these turnovers and these bad decisions that he makes. Like, it has to fucking stop. We need him to I'm gonna be honest with you. It needs to be like at least a 5 to 8 game period before he has a bad game. Like, every 5 to 8 games have a bad game, but not every fucking game so far this year. Maybe I'll give you a pass for Atlanta. Atlanta, I felt like you did pretty good for the most part. I'll give you an A for Atlanta. But for the most part, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, this season you haven't had a... Where the fuck is the standard at? Where's the standard? Where is the time where your actual play and your stats match up with it? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to move on from Jalen Hurts. Let's talk about the other guys on offense. Saquon fucking Barkley.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Has now regained the title of the best running back in the league. And I'm going to tell you something. This man is special. I remember this is the time where I really was watching college. This is when college football was actually fucking fun. Now it's ass. I haven't really watched too much this year because I've been kind of really fucking busy. Like, I've been off on Saturday, but I've been really, really busy, so I haven't been able to watch it. But I remember when back in college, I thought this shit was fun. Back when it was fun, bro, I swear to God, everybody was talking about Saquon being the best running back prospect in NCAA history. Strong, fast, can catch, and it's really rare that somebody that gets hyped to his level lives up to those expectations, let alone exceeds them. And he has been everything they've said he was in that. And some people were like, well, he didn't really do much in the Giants. But then again, number one, injuries really derailed a lot of things. Because he's shown the flash when he is on the field, and that offensive line for New York has been god awful. You know what I mean? And then there's not many receivers, and quarterback play hasn't helped him out either. So, you know, just going back through it, man, bro, we don't fucking deserve Saquon. We don't. And neither does Jalen Hurts. I mean, be honest, if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert playing the way they played, let's read off Saquon's stats real quick. So he had 17 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I think, did he have any receptions? 4 receptions for 9 yards. Great. Now, this is what pissed me off, okay? So your offense is struggling. Sirianni, why the fuck aren't you running the football? Why did it take you until the third quarter? Because when the third quarter came, Saquon was struggling a little bit with the run, but I feel like that was more of the play calling because you kept doing the same shit as last year, doing inside zone over and over again. And I don't know what the fuck it is. And I'm thinking it's Sirianni. Because there's no fucking way in the hell I see game number 1, there's versatility in the offense. There's versatility in the formations. And game number 2 and game number 3, I'm seeing a stagnant, vanilla fucking offense that is maybe a little bit more advanced than last year. Just a little bit more advanced. I don't know what the fuck is going on with these play calls, but we'll, let's stay on Saquon. Like, say we do not deserve Saquon. I'm talking about this man hit the gap. That was some terrific ass blocks, terrific blocks. Man hit the gap, ran people over, and still had his second gear to completely separate himself. And I think that third quarter run. Let me make sure I get the right, because I put a time stamp on that motherfucker. Let me find out where it is. I did not. It was a fourth quarter touchdown. Okay, it was a fourth quarter touchdown. Now, just kind of going back to it. Saquon, we do not deserve Saquon. The run game was a little bit stagnant. I said at the upper part of the third quarter, and we finally got it going. But Saquon put this team on his back. Him and Goddard. By the way, Dallas Goddard, 10 receptions, 170 yards.
Dumbass.
But he played, and then, a lot of you guys that's been talking shit about Goddard, y'all owe this man an apology. I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. I'm going to keep it real with you. The only people who've really been defending Goddard, like for real, has been me and Seth Joyner. I'm keeping it always stacked with you. I don't see any of you Eagles fans, all you Eagles fans say, he's injury prone. And I talked about this. Injury prone means you just get injured just for the fuck of it. Like, talk about that, but if he's getting a situation where people are just twisting his limbs on uncomfortable positions, that's not his fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody in that position, AJ Brown, whoever it may be, if somebody's taking your fucking limb and putting it on a position to break it, of course it's going to fucking break. Like, I don't understand what's with some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all not even really addressing the elephant in the room, the real problem, which is the play calling, the lack of usage first and foremost. And when he is utilized, how is he utilized? A lot of times he's utilized with these stupid ass tight end screens, which is fucking dumb. He's not utilized in the same way how how Doug Peterson did a great job of utilizing Zach Ertz. It's not the same thing. Zach Ertz was really used extremely well. We were not doing the same shit with Dallas Goedert all the way up until today. So thank God that Jalen Hurts finally looked Goddard's way and gave him opportunities. And Goddard just showed y'all that, really the only tight ends is in a conversation with him that are better than him, maybe, is Kittle because of the blocking. And then we have to throw in Travis Kelce. That's it. Those are the only other two tight ends that's in a conversation with Dallas Goedert, or that you would consider to be even remotely better than him. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, hell of a game from Dallas Goedert. And I remember there was like a I think it was a second quarter catch. And I'm not really too big on how Jalen Hurts threw the ball, because if he threw the ball correctly, he would have had a touchdown. Let's say they're here or there. But Goddard had a great game. Calcaterra, like his blocking sometimes is god awful. To be honest with you, like this, like he does some good blocks here and there, but like he does some shit that just like is real head scratchers. Just going through the receivers, Devontae Smith. We gotta talk about this. We have to have a conversation about this. Devontae Smith obviously played good. He always played great. We would need to talk about the elephant in the room. So, this guy, I think his name is Peyton Hurst or some shit like that.
Some nigga, man. What a tough nigga, man.
Devontae Smith, I think, tries to get past the mark or whatever case it be. Fourth quarter, it's like 3 or 4 guys on him. So, all of a sudden, this Peyton guy, whatever this guy's name is, he comes in and he basically spearheads fucking Devontae Smith. Like, he launches himself at Devontae Smith. Pause. And I'm like, at the end, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, in real time, like, you know what, he's just trying to make a football play. And then hopefully that's what his intention was. But you just never know. Because some people, everybody's gonna say everything so they don't get fined. But again, it's a slippery slope with everything. But yeah, just really just kind of just putting things into perspective. Like, then I went on social media and I saw the slow-mo. I'm like, not only was it helmet to helmet, why the fuck are you spearing? Why the fuck are you going head first, launching your body into somebody who you got 3 or 4 guys holding Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith not gonna is too small to break through all them guys like that, and it's not happening regardless. Like, you got enough Saints players that the ref are gonna blow the whistle. Dead. Why the fuck are you launching yourself into Devontae Smith the way you did? You know what I'm saying? Like, his helmet didn't fly off just by accident. So that really pissed me off. Not only because he's my favorite wide receiver in the league, and not only because he's an Eagle. It's just like, even if that was CeeDee Lamb and he got caught up like them. Like I tell a defender like bro, like what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Even if it was the Eagles player that did that, which we don't play like that. Thank God we don't. I'm glad we got a healthy coach. We got guys that just they don't play dirty. Because you know why? You know why they don't play dirty? Because they actually know how to fucking play the game of football. It's always these scrub ass niggas you never hear they fucking name. Not a no second team all pro comp. You don't hear them they conversation in nothing, making no plays. But when it's time to do some dirty ass shit that's just fucking, you know, trying to, you know, pull off a slick one, that's when you hear they fucking name. But you don't hear them make bat down no passes, getting no sacks, no tackle for losses, no interception, not a fucking thing. But you always hear their name when they about to do some dirty shit. So honestly, the way the Saints played, bro, Saints, it was like the fucking Bounty Gate 2024 version, just keeping it real with you. But yeah, hopefully, I'm gonna be honest with you. This game, this next thing is the Buccaneers. It's going to be rough as fuck because Devontae Smith cannot play because he's going to be concussion protocol. Lane Johnson had a concussion too. And so he's going to be out next game most likely. So Devontae Smith and Lane Johnson, pretty good chance that they're not going to play against the Buccaneers. Mekhi Becton, I think, had a shoulder or arm injury. Don't quote me on that.
Dumbass.
Mekhi Becton might or might not play next week. So we'll see what happens with that. He might miss it, but we got to give a shout out to two people. And, you know, finally we showing some love. Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen. You know, a lot of people say, well, Tyler Steen was trash, whatever. Like, number one, Tyler Steen had a good preseason. It just, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like Isaiah Rodgers and Quinyon Mitchell. Only difference is I feel like we've seen a little bit more out of Tyler Steen. I never thought, like, looking at Tyler Steen, I never thought he was a bad player. I just thought that he's more or less of a run. Like I could tell his strength right off rip is run blocking. I know his strength is run blocking right off rip. Pass blocking he's all right, but like his run blocking is where he really excels. Like he really has a great understanding of how to properly run block. So yeah. With that being said, and also Fred Johnson. Very, very happy for him. So both of those guys did a terrific job coming in the game because think about it like this, bro. It was we couldn't fucking score at all, like at all, and it was a fucking mess. So for them to come in there, game on the line, and play the way they played when the lights were the brightest, shout out to both of them. And again, like I said, I already knew Tyler Steen was a good player. I just that, you know, looking at him last year, I'm like, okay, he needs to work on his pass blocking, but you know. Jeff Stoutland is the best offensive line coach in NFL history. Like he just makes. Talk about finding diamonds in the rough, man. He know how to do it, bro. And I'm so happy that they gave him the number that he want, and that hopefully he gonna retire an Eagle, man. Because we really lucky to have an offensive line coach. He's probably the only coach out the Chip Kelly tree that I genuinely fuck with. Now going over to the other players. You know, Bellotta did his thing. You know, I'm really sick. Oh yeah, Britton Covey is gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks. Now Britton Covey again had a pretty good game, caught some catches, made some really big plays. I'm really happy to see that he's actually finally decided to involve him in the offense. But here's where you fucking up at. Britton Covey's your best kick returner. I love that he's involved in the offense, but you're ODing it. When I looked on the fucking depth chart, he was a third wide receiver. I'm like, for what? Why? Like, yes, did he have a terrific game last game? Yes, but you have to be careful. He's our secret weapon. You don't, like, his main job is to be our kick returner, our punt returner. You don't go and fucking get him killed. Now he's going to be out for a significant period of time, damn near half this fucking season. Like, there was no reason to play him and then get him involved at the amount that you're doing. It just makes no fucking sense. So I'm very pissed off that Britton Covey like got injured because they were just not necessarily, dude, give him about 5 targets a game and that's it. We don't need him to be heavily involved. We have other players like Paris Campbell and who actually did pretty good. He caught a couple passes like I said before. We got other guys that can make up for it. We don't have to put the ball. Really, the game plan is get the ball in Dotson, get the ball in Devontae Smith, and get the ball in Dallas Goedert. That should really be the primary. And then everybody else, you involve them. But those 3 guys and Saquon, those are the guys that get the ball in their hands. Not necessarily the other guys, yes, but you fit them in a game where you can. But you're ODing it. Like it just it didn't have to happen. He didn't have to be out this much fucking time. And I'm not trying to blame him for the injuries, but I'm saying that this is definitely could have been preventable. Because why the fuck are you playing him at the amount that you're playing? It just makes no sense to me. Oh, and by the way, going back to Devontae Smith shit, I hope that guy didn't spit on Devontae Smith. If there was spit flying, it was just out of him talking. Because number one, he knew damn well that he launched himself into Devontae Smith helmet to helmet. He knew that. So if he knew that, and he saw a guy on the ground the way that he, you know, why the fuck are you standing over? Like, number one, the fact that you're standing over him talking shit while he's literally, while you knew you went helmet, you knew your helmet went into his helmet, and you knew you were standing on the ground. So the fact that you're standing fucking over him and talking shit, that was already a red flag. But if you spat on that man, you are a legitimate bitch. On everything. I hope he didn't spit on him, because if he spit on the man, he's a legitimate bitch. Like on everything, like that guy. He's a bitch. I'll tell you another guy who's a bitch later, like for a fact. But we'll wait till the defense to get there. Now, and I don't give a fuck to get his name right either. Jahan Dotson. Why the fuck are you not involved in Jahan Dotson? It just makes no sense. It's a waste of a fucking acquisition. You got a number 2 wide receiver at the very least who, you know, it's playing the number 2. Like I said, priority should be Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, and Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. Those would be the 4 guys you have to get the ball to. Why are you not trying to get the fucking ball to Jahan Dotson? It's crazy. And yes, you can blame Jalen Hurts for not looking over his way. But why the fuck are you not making it a point of your game plan to get the ball to him? You can't just rely on fucking Devontae Smith. You got other weapons. You got other weapons on this team. You gotta fucking put him to use. Otherwise, you just wasted a fucking acquisition. Get him the fucking football. Like, it pisses me clean off. Pause. It really pisses me off, bro, that you have a weapon of his caliber and you're not putting him to use. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, I'm really bewildered by that whole situation. That really pissed me off. So they didn't give him the fucking ball. They didn't find a way to involve him, because him not getting the ball, especially being a second wide receiver, makes zero fucking sense to me. We gotta talk about Nick Sirianni.
Rubbish, garbage, trash, waste, tomato, it's all the same.
Because this motherfucker is stupid. Stupid. So, I believe it was the first half, the last offensive drive before the Saints kneeled down and they took it to the end of the first half. Moving the ball down the field, okay? Your offense has been struggling all fucking game. Hurts is turning the ball over like crazy. So, first and foremost, where you fuck it up at, and I'm not going to blame this on Kellen Moore, because, again, like I said earlier in this video, when the offense looks the fucking same versus what happened with the Brazil game, where I saw a lot of variety, and then his stupid ass quarterback draws, and then his stupid ass, like, you know, like, you could tell when you got Sirianni's handprints all over some shit. I could tell when, okay, it's Kellen Moore fucking up. So really, it's even hard for me to even really talk, you know, get on Kellen Moore ass, because not only does I feel like he knows what he's doing, you can tell that Sirianni is going out of his way to fucking put his hand on a playbook again. Bitch ass nigga, get your motherfucking hands off a playbook. That's it. You are there for morale, moral support, nigga. You there to be the I don't want to say the cheerleader. I don't expect you that much to say the cheerleader. But get your ass off a fucking playbook. Let me tell you something right now. Was I a fan of Kellen Moore getting hired? No. But he's had some success. A lot of Dak Prescott's best years came with Kellen Moore being an offensive coordinator, okay, and a play caller. But I'm going to be honest with you. Straight up and down like this. Leave that man alone. Let him call the fucking plays. Let him call the fucking. This nigga right there had to lie, had the nerve. So let's talk about the play of the fucking game. Let's talk about the play of the fucking game. All right. So guess this motherfucker do. 4th and 1. Number one, your offense struggles. So you have to take the points. You have to take the goddamn points. All right. So it's an insult to injury that you did not take the points. Okay, cool. So he goes into a tush push formation. You know what actually makes sense? Do the fucking tush push. You know what this nigga did? A backwards fucking toss behind the line of scrimmage to Saquon Barkley. And this motherfucker said, oh yeah, that was my fault. Motherfucker, we know. We know that was your ass. We knew that shit wasn't Kellen Moore and fucking Jalen Hurts calling that, but we know it was your ass, nigga. You didn't tell us that shit. And then this nigga had the nerve to come in the press conference talking about some, yeah, well, you know, my dad taught me that whenever things go wrong, you know, I accept accountability. Like when someone spills something on the floor, you know, I go by the 5-second rule. So I go down on the ground like a dog. I start panting and I stick my tongue out and try to get as much off the floor as possible, you know. Because back then, we didn't use Lysol. We didn't use Clorox. We didn't use any cleaning products. We didn't use a mop. We didn't use you know, we didn't use any of those things. We didn't use any paper towels or anything. You know, we got it out the mud, literally. And that's just that was just my upbringing. And like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. We know it was your ass, nigga. You didn't tell us that. We know it was your ass. Say the fuck, cut the speeches, nigga. I had a dream that you were no longer the head motherfucking coach in Philly. That was my dream. I had a dream that Nick Sirianni ass was up out of Philly. I'm tired of his bullshit. Every fucking time I turn around, he's up there calling some bullshit. Whether it be a screen, a Dallas Goddard, whether it be a dumbass RPO play, or whether it be a stupid ass play other than the tush push. I had a dream. Then I woke up and realized that the motherfucker was a nightmare. But anyway, outside of my shitty ass MLK impression, like I went to January for that. Anyway, bottom line is this. Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, I'm keeping it real with you. Those two, they're holding back this team from greatness. Jalen Hurts is inconsistent ass play, more talking, less on the field performance. Sirianni, same shit. And he's going out of his way to fucking sabotage Kellen Moore when I think he's more than capable of calling plays for this football team, and he's shown it. Get the fuck off a playbook. We don't need you calling no fucking play. We do not. Again, I understand that in normal situations that the coaches, when it's certain game time situations, the coaches have to be in charge of that. But for you specifically, get the fuck off a playbook. Please. Stay your ass away from anything that has a play call in it. Motherfucker, if it's a shotgun or a goddamn, it's like you stay away. We don't need your motherfucking help. Kellen Moore don't need your goddamn help. At all. So, him to do that dumbass shit, it's already better for you to take the points, but to literally go with a backwards, to start off a play backwards behind the line of scrimmage is just fucking insane to me. To literally think that was a good idea is fucking crazy. So, I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to fire Sirianni. So everybody say fire Sirianni. It's not happening. Especially if they're winning. It doesn't matter how bad Sirianni is. They're not. It makes no sense to fire. It will look bad from a PR standpoint. Let's talk about the defense. Bryce Huff has to be one of the worst fucking free agent signings in NFL history. When I tell you this motherfucker once again did nothing, he did nothing. Gloves is off. I already had it, but gloves off in the last video. He's fucking trash. There's nothing he can do. And then what pissed me off was his fucking responses in the press conference. How you feel like, you know, you're adjusting to things? You know, what do you feel like you need to work on? I need to work on a lot. I need to work on cleaning my visor. Oh, I don't have a visor. I need to work on keeping the rubber out of my eye. You know, I don't think I can do that. I need to work on getting the right cleats for the turf, the AstroTurf, for the St. Louis Rams. They're in Los Angeles. Oh, shit. I need to work on, you know, lining up in the middle. You're a defensive end. Oh, shit. I need to work on a lot of shit. Yeah, clearly, motherfucker. Clearly. Bryce Huff is ass. I don't want to talk about Bryce Huff. He gets no conversation from me. You do nothing, you get nothing. Pause. Moving on. Jalen Carter. Now, I know what Chris Long said, and I respect him, especially what he did with that 2017 Super Bowl. I respect the hell out of him. He played great. He was a pretty damn good player, but I have to keep it real with you. Okay, and Chauncey, I'm going to be... Matter of fact, I'll table that conversation. Let's talk about the player's performance. Carter, and I love the accountability. See, Bryce Huff. If you want to watch somebody, you watch Jalen Carter, who's younger than you. But guess what? When he asked, yo, and I don't even think he was trash. I just think he was underperforming. I don't think he was trash though. Yeah, they asked it. They said, how you feel about your on the field performance? And he said it was trash. Accepted accountability. And then he gave reason. He said, you know, I need to do a better job of doing X, Y, and Z with the offensive line. Gave reason to show that he has knowledge and awareness of the game. And even when he had a great game, all over the field being disruptive, he still said that he didn't like his performance. That's fucking greatness. Now listen, most people who are veterans, you know, typically they the ones that have the more experience. You need to go take a playbook. You need to go take a play out of fucking whatever. I don't remember. You take a play out of Jalen Carter's playbook about accountability and about owning your shit. And it's to the point where, like I said, he played great. Bro, he didn't even fucking say he played great. Like he still think he's trash. That's somebody, that's greatness. That's what you're not. Alright? So take notes, nigga. Now, Jordan Davis. Y'all owe this man an apology. Steph Jordan, I fuck with you, but you get on Jordan Davis' ass too much. Listen, this is how everybody gotta understand. A team is not every single player being a generational talent. Every first round pick is not a generational talent. Now, I'm not writing the book yet on Jordan Davis because he has a long career ahead of him. But from what I've seen so far, the problem with you guys is you're looking at Jordan Davis for what he's not. You're looking at Jordan Davis as like a fucking Mean Joe Green. It's not that. He's not going to get a bunch of sacks. He's not going to be the next coming of Fletcher Cox. He's not. He's not going to be Vince Wilfork, John Randall, Warren Sapp. That's not his game. But one reason why I wasn't getting on him versus Bryce Huff was that Jordan Davis was actually being productive. He was actually being productive. Yes, ideally, we want him to get sacks, and he got a sack, so congratulations to him. We do want him to get sacks. But at the same time, as long as you're being productive, here's the thing, and this is just me. If you're being productive and you're making plays and you're contributing, that's all that really matters. I personally don't give a fuck. Not everybody on the team has to be a Pro Bowler. If you're a good player and you do the dirty work and you do the little things right and you contribute to the team winning, I don't give a fuck if you're a Pro Bowler or not. And I won't sit up here on this channel calling you trash like some of y'all have been, except Winter. Because that, you know, you might not be 100% together, right? As far as doing what you need to do. But Jalen Hurts, I look at Jordan Davis, not only does he look in shape, you know, he had a great game. And a lot of y'all owe him an apology because, like I was saying before, he's contributing something, right? So maybe, okay, he's not going to, and I told it, what did I say? I said Jordan Davis, last video I said Jordan Davis is a 5-sack player. That's exactly what the fuck came out of my mouth. I said he's a 5 sacks a year player. That's what he was. That's what he is. Y'all was like, no, I'm telling you. The majority of where you want to look at for Jordan Davis is him influencing stopping the run and tackles for loss. That's where Jordan Davis' bread and butter is going to be. So the reality situation is part of a team is understanding everybody's strengths and weaknesses and putting it together. And just because you don't do everything on the football field does not mean you trash. Just do the things you know how to do very well. And one thing Jordan Davis knows how to do is he can help stop the run 100%. That's why I never called him trash. Josh Sweat got close to get some pressure. I thought Josh Sweat played good. I'm looking for a sack out of him. I think that next game he needs to get a sack. I'm looking for that. Beat Brandon Graham, man. Brandon Graham. You gotta give him a round of applause. Give a round of applause to Big BG, man. I'm telling you right now, bro. The way he played, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The way he's playing, he actually played better than last year. Now he's playing better than last year. He could go another year if he wanted. It's gonna be sad seeing him retire because I'm gonna love him talking shit to the other team. I'm gonna love that energy, that veteran presence that he made, and this guy, he know what to do, man. Ever since that 2017 year where he, was clutching that Super Bowl, bro, he never looked back and he's always been a solid player on your team, man. Like, I know for a fact, we're not just giving him that position because, you know, he's a veteran on the team. We give that position because this man, he can play at a high level. He can really turn it up, and his presence on the field and what he means to the young guys. Yo, shout out to BG, man. And then I want to talk about the linebacker, Zach Bond. Who the hell would have thought? And listen, Zach Bond made some mistakes from time to time, but I thought he had a very good game. I think he had a better game than Atlanta. So now, Green Bay was the best game by far, but he made some really, really big plays when it counted. So shout out to Zach Bond. And Zach Bond leads the league in tackles, which is fucking crazy to me. So, I mean, who would have knew an Eagles linebacker, especially the linebacker luck we've been having, would lead the league in tackles. But, yo, Vic Fangio knew what the hell he was talking about when it came to Zach Bond, man. He's like, talk about a steal. Man, like, I didn't know what he was going to bring to the table. I didn't think he was ever going to be this good. Keep it record. I think he was going to be like, okay, he's going to be a solid role player, but he's damn near arguably the best defensive player we got on the team. Arguably. Not going to go that far yet, but I'm just saying. Kobe Dean made some mistakes, especially in coverage, but, you know, he played good. I liked the way he was playing very physical downhill. So, yeah. Nolan Smith, I mean, goddamn, Nolan Smith. Can you get him one sack, please? Just get one sack, because I'll be defending you in the preseason, and it's just like, you just kind of doing nothing, bro, like, when you're on the field. Like, bro, like, come on. Just give me a sack. Like, Josh Sweat, I need you to get a sack next week. Nolan Smith, I need you to get a sack. Like, y'all two need to get, like, Josh Sweat, I'm a little bit okay with you because I see that you getting closer, you're helping with the run and all that other stuff. But Josh Sweat, you need to get a sack. And Nolan Smith, you 100% need to get a sack. Because I'm trying to defend you, bro, but you know, if you're going to play, listen, I understand that you might be an off-ball linebacker instead of an edge. But as of right now, I need you to see that you can do something, bro. And it's like no excuse because you got guys on the team that can help you with hand placements, develop your pass rush moves. Like, it's just no excuse, bro. No, Smith, you got to do something, bro. Yeah, so that's it for the linebackers. So let's talk about the secondary. Quinyon Mitchell got to start catching those interceptions. You can't be missing interceptions. You got to catch them. Other than that, Quinyon Mitchell did a really, really good job. He almost got scored off. A good job by him utilizing that speed, that actual speed that he got, and getting back to the ball, making plays. Charleston Gardner-Johnson, he ain't getting the picks yet. He almost got one because he took the ball out of dude's hand. Almost got one. So Charleston, I love the physicality and the energy that he's bringing. We'll talk a little bit more about him later, but Charleston Gardner-Johnson played a really good game. Blankenship, game-winning interception. Everybody say his interceptions look the same. I'm like, I don't know if you know. It may have been a different, probably a similar formation, but he dove for that interception. That shit wasn't easy. That wasn't easy, especially for a guy that's not that athletic. You know, at least I thought. That's just not easy. To do a diving fucking interception, that's never easy. So I don't know who that was talking shit, but yeah, y'all owe Reed Blankenship an apology. I think he was talking about Cooper the G needs to be the safety, Cooper the G, or whatever. No, I told y'all give Reed Blankenship a shot. Give them guys that know what the hell they're doing so they can actually teach them how to go back to playing. And lo and behold, Reed Blankenship is back. And do y'all yourselves a favor. Here's the thing before we move on. Okay, this y'all gotta understand. Cracker is a racist word. Please stop using that. Y'all not gonna stop, but y'all should. I understand that y'all mean it in like an endearing way, but if you don't want other races to not say the N-word or some other stuff that you know is a slur, like I'm not gonna walk around calling a white person honky or a cracker because like it's actually racist. So again, I know y'all mean well, but y'all should really consider the words that's coming out of your mouth when you're saying it and really understand the context of what you're saying. Mind you, talking to some nigga, I don't give a fuck. I say whatever the hell I want to say, but a racist slur is a racist slur, and y'all shouldn't really be saying it. Again, I know y'all mean it in an endearing way, but you guys have to stop doing it because calling a white person a cracker is actually racist. It's derogatory. Again, I know y'all mean it in a good way, but it's still a racist word nonetheless. Now, moving on from that. Y'all owe an apology to Darius Slay. Now listen, Slay pissed me off sometimes because I could tell he's a nice guy. Sometimes that bites him in the ass. Pause. Because it's like he too friendly. Like, listen, when we lose, I don't want you to go over there to go to Drake London and be like, yeah, man, hey, you did a great job, you know. But you got me, hit that boom boom, and then you was out of there, then you caught it, man. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want your autograph. Like, you can't be on that type of timing. Like, you gotta be some competitive, like, yo, man, fuck that other team. And then maybe on your podcast, you could bring them on there. Y'all can talk about the catch, maybe have them on like an Instagram live later on. But in that moment when you lose, I need you to be just focused on the Eagles. Don't give the other team credit so goddamn much. Like, right now, it's fuck them until further notice. You understand what I'm saying? But other than that, I fuck with Slay like yo, Slay's good. Give that man some credit. Because he's been playing great. Again, he made a very egregiously bad mistake. The good thing I like about Darius Slay, he owned up to it. Joe Shits was getting on his ass. I'm like, hey man, like, listen. Again, Slay has not put himself in situations. He said some things that kind of are head scratchers from time to time. But I believe Slay knows what the hell he's doing. He's going to get his shit together. It's not like Bradbury. Bradbury was just a fucking hopeless cause. And while I wish him the best of recovery as a player, he's ass. I'm just keeping it real with you. But Slay, I know that, you know, Slay's gonna make his mistakes, but he won't get his shit together. Hey, when I tell you he locked the fuck up, he locked up. Shaheed didn't get shit because of Slay. So I need y'all to apologize to that man. Give Slay his credit. And by the way, Penny, you fat marshmallow Michelin man built ass bitch. Why the fuck? What you did is the blind side, nigga? The fuck? Oh, what the fuck did Michael Orr say? Or the guy playing him? He was like, yeah. Where are you taking him? He said, to the bus. It's time to go. It's time for him to go home. So, you must think this blind side. Motherfucker, he's out of bounds. Listen, I'm all for physicality. Even if it's the other team against my team. If you get a good hit, you get a good hit. If you get a pancake, you get a pancake. You get a good block, you get a good block. I understand all of that. But when you're entering the dangerous territory where you're doing dirty shit by shoving them into a fucking bench, you're fucking goofy. Like, I don't know what's in that fucking brain of yours. Some goddamn curly fries and some fucking charred hot dogs and bratwurst in there. But you're a certified bitch. You got some fucking earthworms and wood chips in that motherfucking brain of yours. Because you're a certified bitch ass nigga for what you did to Darius Slay. That shit was dirty as fuck. And that was like... Honestly, if we had to really pick between what happened with that guy Peyton and pick that guy, I would give a little bit more credit to, even though I don't like it. I don't want nobody on my team to get hurt. I don't give a fuck if you're my favorite receiver or otherwise. I don't want nobody on my team to get hurt. But I'll give him a little bit more leeway. That shit right there with fuck Penny, whatever that fucking hoe ass nigga name is, you're a bitch for that. Straight up and down like that. Why you gonna push him into the fucking bitch? You mad because that nigga was locking up your fucking receiver. He wasn't getting a fucking thing. Hating ass bitch. Fuck you, nigga. Fat ass fucking Michelin man built ass bitch. Oh fucking donut, stack of donut built ass bitch. Oh fucking I invented the word glazing built ass bitch. Like, man, we're gonna move on, bro. Yeah, so Fangio, I love that he owned up to it. He showed accountability, which I was afraid that he was not. He owned up to, you know, he said, you know, I got to get my guys prepared. And he was talking about how, you know, you can't stop the run. You can't have a pass rush if you're not stopping the run. I mean, talk about lockdown, shutdown fucking defense. Talk about shutdown defense. Man, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Vic Fangio, hey, listen, I have my critiques about you. You had those players came out to fucking play it. I shout out to the whole unit and shout out, except for Bryce Huff, shout out to the whole unit. And this motherfucker had nerve to say we. We did what? Hey, you remember that motherfucker? I don't know if y'all know. The Pink Panther 2 shit when Steve Martin was, and that guy, I think his name is Jeanette Reno, he was in the professional shit. So they was fighting in the alleyway. And all fucking Steve Martin was doing was just doing fucking like karate motions and shit. He wasn't fighting nobody.
Good teamwork.
That's what the fuck Bryce Huff was doing there in that fucking car. The nigga was like, yo, he was up there doing this stupid, hold on. Motherfucker was up there doing this stupid shit. Teamwork. Motherfucker, you didn't do shit. Fuck you mean teamwork, nigga. You see, nigga, all you did was dress. Pause. But like, you know, let's stop playing. But yeah. Now, last thing before we go. Let me see the phone. I'm about to die. Well, I'm not about to die. My camera is. Anyway. The Jalen Carter shit. Jalen Carter, listen. I'm going to be honest with you. The dirty shit that they was doing, I'm happy that you did that. personally, I don't give a fuck about the Saints. Yo, talk the fuck out the fans. Yeah, we won. And Charles Gardner-Johnson, I love the confidence, but here's the thing. Everybody got to scale it back because last week, it was dog shit. And the reality situation is that, yes, I'm very happy that we had a terrific A++ performance from that defense. The defense, Saquon, Dallas Goedert, they saved Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni ass 100%. So I'm happy for y'all. Happy that y'all play with passion and y'all get to celebrate y'all win. Good. But understand this, the job ain't done. To celebrate y'all win, the job ain't done. Gotta remember that last week, you know, this has to be consistency, right? You have 5 games, I can see where y'all go dinner, but Jalen Carter, you gotta have to scale it back just a little bit. Again, I know you can play, and I know that, you know, you're gonna be on your shit. I don't really have to worry about Jalen Carter as much. I really don't. Like, he's probably one of the very few players that I don't really like. He's gonna do what he's supposed to do. But careful taunting the fans, going the extra mile, and everybody got to understand. I see, again, I like the Chauncey's confident, but about the best defense in the league. Don't overdo it. Everybody got to stay focused because this has to be a week-to-week thing. This can't be some shit where, like, we didn't win a Super Bowl, okay? We didn't win an NFC championship. We won a regular season game. So there's a big, long season ahead of us. Everybody got to calm the hell down. And just stay focused, okay? Stay locked in. Don't celebrate, but like just don't go overboard. I think Jalen Carter went slightly overboard. I think he could have scaled it back some. It wasn't necessary for him to do that. And Chauncey scaled it like the best use NFL. Like, dude, I'm happy for y'all. Everybody played great except for myself. Everybody played great, but you know, just in general, just kind of keep yours is Jalen Hurts, even though he's not playing what he's supposed to be playing. Keep the main thing, right? Now, Buccaneers, we got a lot of injuries. Devontae Smith and Lane Johnson are most likely definitely not going to be playing. Mekhi Becton is up in the air. We'll see what happens as the week progresses. So we're having a lot of injuries. Let's hope we get A.J. Brown back to kind of alleviate things. They're going to have to get in Jahan Dotson involved. This Buccaneers team ain't no joke. Baker Mayfield is picking up exactly where he left off last year. Mike Evans is doing what Mike Evans normally do. And so we have to lock the fuck in. So we're going to have to, you know, like we're going to have injuries. Jalen Hurts, you got to fucking play better what you're doing. I need week-to-week consistency. I don't need one game, oh, you look good. Next week, game, like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, so consistency out of Jalen Hurts. You got to play better. Sirianni, get your motherfucking hands off a playbook. That man, what you call it? Kellen Moore, don't need your fucking help. All right, moving forward. We got a lot of shit to go. So, I got a new song coming out, I think this Friday. Alright, it's going to be called SOS Nasty Remix. So it'll be only on SoundCloud and YouTube. Why? Because I don't want to get fucking sued because I didn't get a sample cleared, okay? So that's going to be out. The Nasty Remix, Nasty with Lil Duval. It was produced by, I think, Troy Taylor and some other guy. But if you remember the song Lil Duval, Jacquees, and Tank, I remixed the joint, kind of sampled in the way did some cool shit with it. It's coming out on SoundCloud, YouTube this Friday. That's the plan. Shooting Star already out on Bandcamp. It's going out on Amazon and Apple. If probably by the end of this video, it's probably already on there. But I'll keep you updated on social media. All right, I'm out of here. Peace. Hey.